Hello, dear friends. Welcome to Monday to my studio in Montreal. I'm really happy to see you. And if you can see in our chat, we run the pool. I have a question for you. On my workshops, I'm always asking to use the same brand of the paper what I'm using because it's just more easily to follow me. But people sometimes bring the very different paper, and I want to ask you, what kind of watercolor paper you use mostly, because it's very interesting for me to understand which paper is more popular on your opinion and what is more comfortable for your style. So if you don't mind, in our chat you'll find that poll, and please answer because that's interesting for me. And today I'm gonna use Baohong. I will explain you what we're gonna do a little bit later. And one thing I want to tell you, because I got a lot of messages all the time. As you know, it's almost 300 videos on my YouTube channel for free, and on my website watercoloronline.com we have almost 100 video courses and private lessons and a lot of things. So people asking what's the difference between watercolor demo, online courses, physical courses, because it can be not really clear, understandable. I can tell you the difference. So the demo, like today, I can answer on your questions, but then I do my painting. There is no theory things, there is no explanation. I just show the way how I'm doing that, but it's almost no information here. That's the demo. I just show without really explanation the idea, because normally on the physical workshops, before we start each project, I explain why we select that colors, why we make that composition, and how to represent your subject in the best way. So it's a lot of things before we start to create our project, and then we start step by step. I always explain why we're doing that, what technique is the best for that thing. So it's a lot of information. The online workshops, it is similar to that. The problem is I couldn't touch your paper, I couldn't make correction, and you don't see exactly what I'm doing from the different angle, how I'm touching paper, because it's just normally it's always one camera from top. So that's not the same thing, but we still have a communicate, asking the questions, answering the question. So basically that's the difference, again, because I got a lot of messages and people asking me. So now you know. So demo, it's just I show you what I'm doing, I can answer the question, but there is no theory things, there is no knowledge why we're doing that way. The physical workshops, it's a lot of information, and the Zoom online courses, it's something between. Okay, so now you know. And as usual, you see I have a technical support. Any questions, you just can type it in the chat, I can hear it and I can answer. So that's how we can talk. If you have any questions, feel free. Okay, and remember, we have a poll about the what kind of paper you prefer to use, and our subject for today. I back from Argentina and Chile just 2 days ago. It was a absolutely summertime, hot, nice, sunny. So for now I'm in Canada. Today is -22, and it's truly cold, but it's like a spring started, but it's very cold, special after the for instance in Buenos Aires was like a +30. So here -22, it's like a 50 degrees difference, that's very strong. So but anyway, the spring coming. Today is the 3rd day of the spring, and congratulations with that. So I'm really like the springtime, and for the time then we hold the watercoloronline.com website the first time, just to celebrate our spring. We have a very special discount. It's a 25% for all the items what we have on sale on our web pages. Video courses, all the materials, art supplies, everything. So it's just 2 weeks to celebrate the spring. So if you're looking for some materials what I'm using all the time, paper, brushes, video courses, art supplies, you have a chance to got 25% discount, which is the first time we're doing that things. And because I'm in Canada now, our subject is a very, very specific subject. I will show you. Here is it. This is the beautiful photo of the North White bear. So that's our subject for today. I'm not painting the animals very often, so it's like a rare subject for me, but that's, you know, it's like a spirit of Canada, right? So this is our subject for today, and before we start to do this, I want to show you some color mixing, what we're gonna do for that project. Some of them you know, some of them will be very important to explain that things, okay? And I use the this paper for our project. This is the Baohong Masters Choice watercolor paper, rough, and it's you see 40 by 40 centimeters, so it's like 15 by 15 inches. So this is our paper for today, and the color mixing, I will name it all the colors what we use for this. So the first one, Cobalt, and the second one, Queen Sienna. The thing is that two colors give you a very nice gray mix. It can be very concentrated, and it's very nice gray mix, transparent 100%, and it's very easy to make it a little bit more cold if you want, just a little bit more cobalt, or a little bit more warm if you want, a little bit more sienna. So this is our basic mix for our project, grayish mix. Remember, in watercolor we always paint in by shadow. And by the way, for all the people who know on the Instagram, you can go to the YouTube channel. It's a live stream video right now. Please join me. So the second combination is, instead of the cobalt, I use the indigo. Here is it. And the same Quinacridone sienna. So that two guys give you a very nice brown color, first of all. You see that? And can be, again, more cold, more warm, depends of the proportions of the pigments what you're using. And plus it's very nice dark gray. You can see that. So plus that three colors what we use here, I add just for the shadows a little bit phthalo blue color. Here is it. Because it's honestly, sometimes you can see that nice color right in the sky. So that's what we're gonna use. And just for the beer, a little bit deep gold, that one. So this is our main color combination. That's enough colors. I just repeat it again. Cobalt blue, Quinacridone sienna, indigo, phthalo blue green shade, and Quinacridone deep gold. For sure, all of them from the Daniel Smith. That's the best paint on the planet, you know that. So as usual, my paper prepared. That means I wet the backside. And as usual, we don't make a sketch. We're gonna paint directly. Okay, ready to go? Good. Again, any question, just ask me. Hello Netherlands, welcome to join me today. Hello Berlin. So you thank you for your answer, paper of all three brands. Great. Yeah, you know, personally, I can say 80% of my watercolor made on the Baohong Masters paper. Sometimes I need something very soft. In that case, I use the Saunders Waterford. So that two my favorite papers. So look, this is the grayish mix, main grayish mix, Cobalt and Queen Sienna, and that's how we start our painting. Thank you, Sabine. I really appreciate your words. Thank you so much. Hello, Chicago. Yep, that's good choice. The Baohong and Arches, it's a good combination. So honestly, for now, I make something like a sketch, but just by brush, not by pencil. So I'm moving slowly from top to bottom. So that's the same idea. How normally we prepare our paper before we start to paint using just a pencil sketch. But the thing is, when we make the sketch by pencil, we're thinking by lines, outlines. But for the watercolor, we have to think by spots. That's why I prefer to make my sketches, if I need it, using the brush, because the brush make exactly the spots. That's what I'm looking for. And for all the people who now on the Facebook, you can join my channel in YouTube. It's a live streaming right now. You have a chance. Now it's kind of more concentrated mixes for the darker part. So we have 55 people who are watching me right now. Thank you very much to join me. And if you don't mind, please give a like to our video if you like it, for sure, because that helps to other people to find it. So that's how it works. Thank you very much for your support. So that's truly dark mix now. And you see it's look like a very dark brownish black, but it's just the Quinacridone, Sienna and Indigo together. And compared to the other dark mixes, like if you use any kind of black, for instance, this it's 100% transparent mix, which is important for me. Hello, Adelaide. I really appreciate what you joined me today, special because it's middle night, and yeah, I really appreciate your patience and time. Thank you. Yeah, I got the question about the paper. On front, it's absolutely dry paper. Inside, my paper full of water. So I prepared my paper. I started to wet the back side of the paper like about 15 minutes in advance before I start to paint. Hello, Brooklyn. Спасибо, что присоединились. So we slowly working on the light part, trying to create the lights. Okay, I got the question about the why I use the sanders if I need more softly colors. You know, the things is, remember then we painting in the watercolor and then the paper is drying, we lost a lot of pigments because they going inside the fibers, right? That's why it's going to be lighter than it's dry. On the Sanders Waterford, we lost about a 15 to 20% of the pigments. They going very deep inside. The Baohong, because of the construction of the paper, because of the gelatin on top and a lot of things, we lost about just a 5, maybe 10, but not more percent of the pigments. So all the colors much brightly. That means normally, you know, then I paint it, then it's dry, it will be almost the same. We lost just a little bit. And on the Sanders Waterford we lost much more. That means then it's drying, it looks softly lighter, and on the Baohong all my color mixing still will be concentrated even if it's completely dry. So because we know that if I'm looking for the very soft like a pastel color combination, I switch to the Sanders Waterford. If I still looking for the bright colors, I prefer to use the Baohong paper. So that's simple things. I got the question about the red color. So in my palette I have two kind of red colors. One of them here is Alizarin Crimson, which is the like a primary red color, and the Pyrrole Violet. So just the two guys here, and that's enough. So we slowly started to build the face of our beautiful beer. And one of the reasons why I'm really like the Baohong paper, yeah, it's drying very slowly, which is the one of the most important thing for me. I have a time to play with my pigments. The Baohong keep all the colors very bright, and plus that's incredible texture, very nice texture. So it's just brilliant paper. I got the question about the difference, the Sanders and arches. The thing is, yes, you're right, but because of that, the Sanders would afford drying slowly compared to the arches paper. But yeah, you're right. It's absorb the water faster, but it holds inside longer time. So compared to paper, you know, on the same YouTube channel, you can find the special video about the paper, what I think about the paper and how I use the paper. So you will find a lot of answers right there, and it's for free, so you can check it. I can tell you what for instance, if you completely wet the Fabriano paper, you have about just 15-20 minutes and it's going to be dry. If you wet the arches paper, you have about something like a half an hour, 35-40 minutes. The Sanders give you 45-50, and the Baohong keep the water about 1 hour and a half, so it's a huge difference. Okay, thank you for the brilliant question about the difference between the Baohong Master Choice and the Baohong Artist paper. You know, technically, it's the same paper, no difference. It's just, you know, question of the market. For the some markets, like in Europe, mostly all the Baohong have a marks in Australia the same, the Baohong Masters paper or Baohong Masters Choice paper. For the some countries, the Baohong don't fall in that brand name. They call it just Baohong Artist paper, compared to the Baohong Academy, which is not that good paper. It's like regular things. So, but yeah, technically there is no difference between the Master Choice, Master's paper, and the Artist paper, Baohong. It's the same thing. And remember, it's a one-side paper, so there is no way to paint on the back side, okay? So we continue to work on the details there. Okay, I got the question about the Belgium workshop. We're gonna do all the subjects. So we make the landscape, cityscape, and the people, the portraits as well. So all the subjects will be there, because it will be a lot of theory and a lot of explanation. So it should be interesting. Okay, so we're starting to build our shape a little bit more carefully. And you see, the painting by watercolor, it's always painting by the negative space only. So that's what I'm trying to organize. I just put the shadows, and the shadows create the shapes. So that's what we're doing. And we have, if you look at the reference, we have a nice shadow here right on the snow, and because of that we have a shape. So that's what I will do right now. And for this I use mostly that brush, the flat one, and that's the reason why I include the phthalo blue color in my mix. But it's not just the phthalo, only the phthalo. I mix the phthalo with the indigo, so that's two guys together. And that brush is just perfect if you want to build a nice shape. You see, I twist my brush, I make that shape, and it's just made to create the nice silhouette here. And after that I switch to my flat brush, and we use the dry brush strokes to create the nice shadow shape here. You know, it's very interesting to see how the picture coming from nothing. So it's not like a sketch by pencil, painting by number, something like that. We just create it from scratch, and I really love that process. It's so alive. And we go to the darkest shadow here. Just, you know, it's one of the very important point. Then you painting like this, and it's almost no colors here. It's everything just very similar, but I'm do my best to always change my mix to make it interesting. Always change the mixes. Okay. So it's slowly coming to life. Okay, I got the mail. You know, I can say you live in Fabriano, fortunately, because I'm really love that city. I have been here a couple of times, and you know, I have a great memory about that place. So you're really lucky what you are there. Very charming place with just amazing people. Very friendly, very nice. And the main square, you know, it's a lot of memories. I got a lot of memories about that main square with the fountain, because you know the festival is there. So you're really lucky. Yeah, thank you for the message about the Baohong paper. Yeah, that's really amazing. And you know, it's the paper made by the completely different way compared to the Saunders arches. It's just different technology and different idea, and I really like that paper. But in the beginning, it takes a time to myself to adjust to that paper, because it's you know, the colors is very bright and everything is so concentrated. So I should to change my style a little bit to do that. So before we're going to finish it, our beautiful beer, I have to dry my paper a little bit. So sorry for the noise, I take off the sound for that. So now we're going to finish that, and I need just a very concentrated colors. And remember, we talked about that before. So it's mostly the Indigo and the Queen Sienna, which give you a, I couldn't say that's really black, but it's pretty dark color and very nice. Okay, I got the question about the dry brush technique, which is a great question. Thank you. It's very important question. So the thing is, yeah, I call that dry brush, but the truth is, my brush not really dry. The more important question, how softly and gently I touch my paper. So I don't create the pressure at all. That's why I use the face of the paper, the texture of the paper, and that's how it works. So it's dry brush, but it's pretty wet. Just very gently touching. And talking about what kind of brushes works for that, the hair for the dry brush have to be soft from one side, but from the second side it have to be you know, like a spring, like back to the shape, like this. So in that case you can use a dry brush strokes. If it like a real gold brush, it's very hard to do. So depends of the brush. Yeah, for the, you know, for the each technique, for the each stroke, for the each special effect, we have to choose the right tools. Without that it doesn't work. But yeah, that's the absolutely right question. Hello, North Carolina. Thank you for joining me today. So our white beer coming to life slowly. And that's truly symbol of Canada. Jules, thank you so much for your kind words and comments. I really appreciate it. Yeah, it means a lot for me, seriously. And you know, that's very important to choose the really right tools for each job what we're doing. And that's make the process comfortable, you know. For the each special effect, for the each style, we need the right tools, right materials, right paints. If we don't have it, we're in trouble, you know. So it's not, it never will be that comfortable. So that's why it's a very important selection. And I'm really grateful for your words. It's really important for me to know that. Thank you. So that's, you see the dry brush exactly, but you see I can blend it so it's pretty wet inside. It's just very delicate touching. That's important point. I just add a little bit more texture to make it look better. Yeah, I got your comment about the brush. Yes, exactly. If the brush is very soft, like you know, like a kind of that synthetic more brushes, it's very hard to make the dry brush strokes. If it's very strong brush like this flat synthetic, it's almost impossible to make a dry brush strokes. It have to be a perfectly balanced brush. From one side pretty strong, from the second side it have to be soft enough to touch just paper on the texture on top. And yeah, it's not easy to find a good brush for that, but you can take the collection what you have and try all of them to find which one is the best for this. You know, I prefer that brushes what I'm using, this flat. It's my favorite, you know, it's my main tool. So that brush perfect for the lift pigments and dry brush in the same moment. So we almost finished our white beer here. Just the last touching. Hello, Brazil. Well, this is our picture. We're done with that. Just you know, the last thing always what we should do. We are responsible for everything what we're doing, right? So that's important part. Well, thank you very much for your time. I hope you enjoy that. If you want to repeat the same thing, follow me, feel free. Uh, you can use my reference, that's for you. And I just want to remind you the first time in the all the 5 years what I hold the watercoloronline.com website, we create that incredible discount, 25% for the all the art supplies, video courses, all the materials what we have here. So if you want to grab something, that's the time. 2 weeks you can enjoy 25% discount. And I again want to say thank you very much for that meeting and conversation. For me it's the best point to start my week. You know, if we have questions, if we can talk, if you can enjoy what I'm doing here. And I definitely see you next Monday. So we'll do another one video demo. And tell me, so I want to check our pool. What is the most popular paper we have? Just a second. So the Arches paper is the most popular, okay? Right. You know the people using the Arches paper for many years, for the centuries. Yeah, I understand that. And yeah, so that's predictable things. I'm thinking it will be something like that. So, okay. And my advice for all the people who never tried the Baohong Masters paper, you have to. You know, that's the brand new paper on the market, and believe me, then I started to use it. From this paper, it's very hard to switch back to the Arches what I used before, or Saunders Waterford, because it's completely different and it's brilliant. You know, it's like after you driving the Mercedes, it's very hard to, or Lexus, I don't know, very hard to back to the other brands, because you know the feeling of the comfortable, it's incredible. And believe me, again, the feeling about the paper different compared to Arches and Saunders Waterford, and you have to try it. You have to make that discovery. You don't have to like it. Then you try it, you can say no, I prefer to back to my Arches, but it makes sense to try that paper because again it's something different. So again, thank you very much for your time. If you don't mind, please like the video because it helps to find that video to other people. I appreciate what you spent almost 1 hour, no, 45 minutes with me this Monday. Thank you for that, and see you next Monday. Bye bye.